is forgotten. Every place he has lived has become a wasteland, desolate, barren. And these survivors may be the only humans left alive. Together, they will attempt a journey into the unknown.
In the beginning, people had nothing. Their bodies ached, and their hearts held nothing but hatred. They fought endlessly, but death never came. They despaired, stuck in the eternal quagmire.
Posse.
I know who you are. Yeah, but I heard you were dead.
I am.
I feel chopped and screwed right now.
Don't worry about what the fuck he be doing. It's DJ Smokey.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining the stream. Looks like we got a good amount of people in here, so we can go ahead and begin. Let me know how the volume is. Might actually be a little too loud. Hold on. Yeah, let me know how the volume is, guys. But it's a new month. We're in the month of June now. Got to go over that monthly close. Got to go over this awesome raffle that we're doing. Huge. So Bitcoin, guys, monthly close. You know, this is a lot of sell pressure that we're seeing, bouncing off so many key levels, guys. I mean, the Heikin-Ashi trend itself on the monthly, we're rejecting off that, and it is a bearish monthly trend. You know, it's also, we came up and we were testing Q4's low right there. So, you know, that low that was put in at the end of last year, it's now a major resistance. And also, guys, a VWAP from the high on this Bitstamp chart, almost a surgical tap of that VWAP from the high. So that is our bear market VWAP right there from the high. And so we rejected off that, and guess where we headed next? The VWAP from the yearly low. So if we put a VWAP on this low back here, the low of the year, that is where we are at right now, guys. So we are testing the sentiment of this uptrend that has been created since that point. So, you know, back here, people were saying that Epstein is Satoshi. You know, if we lose this level, people are going to start saying that again. They're going to start hating on Bitcoin and pointing out all the weaknesses of Bitcoin, the quantum risk, all that stuff. You know, the bear sentiment back here returns if we lose this support that we're currently at here. So let's see. Let's look at the weekly chart real quick. We had a really bad red dot trigger wave come in, guys. That was absolutely gnarly. And we got follow through from it. So, you know, you got the red dot and there was another red candle. This is real good. This is juicy stuff. I hope you guys were catching some shorts. The bears are absolutely supercharged here. Look at that weekly trend. It was an uptrend. Now a new downtrend is confirming, guys. So look at this new Heikin-Ashi downtrend that is beginning here on the weekly chart. So a reconfirming of bearishness on the weekly with that Heikin-Ashi trend. There was a little bit of hope. But ultimately we have been squashed. And then on the daily time frame, you know, we got to talk about that Warsh VWAP, guys. Kevin Warsh getting sworn into the Federal Reserve as the new chairman on the 15th. Look what the price has done since he got in, guys. That was the line to short there. And that's going to be our resistance for the time being. Our probably the most important VWAP resistance, the most important sentiment to get over is the statement, you know, that we are bearish since that new Fed chairman. So, you know, if we can get over the Warsh VWAP, that signals that buyers are coming in, and then that sentiment is dissipating, at least temporarily. Until then, we're in this kind of bearish environment under this Kevin Warsh VWAP, guys. And shout out to everyone in the chat. I see some OGs in the chat: Ricky Spanish, Cypher Rider, and Crypto Crank. Thanks for popping in, guys. So we went over like kind of the macro stuff here. Now locally, there are some interesting things happening. First of all, we're getting a sweep of yesterday's low here. So see, this was a Monday low. We come down and take that. And I full ported a turbo account. Check this shit out. I full ported this turbo account on that sweep just to see what I could get. I should probably close this trade during the stream, but I was feeling a little naughty today. So You know, I went hard for you guys, so you guys got something to see here, because we're doing a really nice breakout. So yeah, man. So there's this daily candle sweep that I took advantage of here, and yeah, I'm a dirty little piggy in a in a massive downtrend, guys. Catching the knife. Catching the knife here, folks. Let me know in the chat how you guys are doing. I see most of you guys are short. 62% are short. So, you know, we are probably going to go lower, guys. I'll give you that. It is very high likelihood. But also, I don't like to be super duper overly bearish locally when we're under yesterday's low and also under last week's low. See this previous weekly low right here? So on the weekly chart, you know, this wick right here from last week, you know, we're underneath that. So, you know, to me, this is a very disadvantageous area to just enter a short continuation. You know, it just means that the bulls are doing something. They're cooking something here. They probably got really not much in the tank. This might even be it, but we are seeing some buyers come in and defend this daily low for now. It may break down on stream. We'll see. And Cypher Rider says he got 3 evals with code FG. Not sure about the last one. I think the raffle starts today. Like I told the breakout guy, like don't start it until June. Wait for the new month. But you know, one VWAP that I'm kind of interested in, guys, is last month's VWAP here. The May, remember that sell in May VWAP? That thing was accurate. But look where it's at here. It's a little hard to see, but it's up here at last week's high, previous weekly high. So when we go to the weekly chart, it looks like that May VWAP is all the way up here at the top of last week's candle wick up here. So if there is, you know, there's this move that happens most months, guys, and it's like a new month-to-date VWAP forms, and then next thing you know, we're back at last month's VWAP. So I'm not saying the bulls don't have a shot to make something happen here, you know, at these lows. I think it is possible. If it does start happening, if you get more confirmations, such as like if we reclaim last week's low, like this low right here, you know, if we go back into this range here, then you could more confidently call that we're going to return back to the top of that range up there. The reason why I would recommend exercising extreme caution and getting out of your trades rather quickly and not holding and hoping for the big home run is there's a lot of environmental indicators that are just, it's just so bearish, guys. Like, it's just so bearish. I'll show you here. It's these SMA trends, guys. We're in this kind of rare time in the charts where the 200-day trend, the 20-day trend, and the 5-day trend are all sloped down. So, you know, we're seeing what that, I mean, up here, they were sloped down up here. You know, like we had this confirmation at around like this area right here in the chart. This is when the slope of all three of those averages started sloping down. And I'm actually very happy to see this downward move because it's affirming the indicators. It's like, you know, it's doing what the indicators would have you guessing that it would. You know, if all three of these are down, then you would expect the price to continue lower. So, you know, this was a great move. But as a bear, I am a little cautious underneath last week's low, guys. So this is an area where, like, once you breach down under here, if you were short earlier in the week, this is a nice spot to kind of TP on your shorts too. Maybe not the whole thing, but yeah, man. Let me catch up on the chats real quick. Shout out to all you guys. Rahila says long hype, short Bitcoin. Voice is crisp. Hell yeah, that's good. Decrypto says short from 79 and shorting any pumps. Looking for a possible long scalp. Yeah, that's where I'm at too, man. I was on the 10-minute chart. The 10-minute Heikinashi did come in. It does look like there's something happening at this daily low. It looked juicy enough for me to just take a swing. It's, what's cool about the price is all right, we got to look at some other coins here. We got to look at Hype. Check it out, guys. New all-time high on Hype. That 200 SMA trend is getting pulled up. That is a noticeable uptick in that 200-day trend there. And you're now in a freshly created 200-day uptrend there. Oh yeah, when I switch to the breakout shit, it mutes me. Oh, that sucks. Let's see here. All right, testing. Okay, now that one worked. Testing. Okay. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Man, I was switching to these. I was pivoting to these other pages and giving these amazing spiels on these challenges, and you guys weren't hearing it, man. But I think you can hear me now. So these challenges are crazy, man. The one-step turbos, guys. I know I'm usually more of a one-step classic kind of guy, but they lowered the prices on these turbo accounts. It's now only $330 for a 100K account. So I've budgeted out quite a few of these turbo accounts. I'm going to see if I can make it work with that tighter rule set there. But this is what's going on today on the stream, guys. So it's a 25K account raffle. If you buy a breakout eval with code FG and you support the channel, you have a chance to get, this is through Breakout, by the way. Breakout came out to me and they wanted to do this through me. So they're going to let me know who wins the raffle later this week, and I'll let you guys know. Yeah, sorry for the freaking muting, man. My gosh. Let's see. Sorry, I'm in a very like overly risky trade on Bitcoin, so I might keep coming back to Bitcoin. But yeah, I'm in a knife catch long on BTC. And I was right, you know, in the short term. So far, I have been right. I got in like down here, and there's this emergent 10-minute little uptrend here. I'm hoping that this grows into something bigger, but it could just die out, and I could just get stopped out immediately and potentially blow that the turbo account. But it's all good because it's, you know, the risk is in check. So blowing a eval is not the end of the world. Blowing a live account is the end of the world. So that's the benefit of trading with prop firms, guys. Someone asked, if you buy multiple accounts, do you get multiple raffle entries? Yes, and I will make sure you do. I will make sure you do. If you join like the Discord in the link, like the description below, open a ticket, man. Open a ticket in my Discord. Let me know if you are buying challenges. That way I can keep it all organized and I know who to fight for when I'm talking to my breakout guy. Yeah, man, this is real sketchy here. Yeah, we'll just have to see if that holds. It could bust through here any second here. So kind of a delicate time here. Seeing if this daily candle sweep can muster up anything. A lot of people on crypto Twitter are calling for like a final leg, like another leg down. You know, there's a lot of people who are thinking that this could just spike down hard, like super hard here. You know, it is a possibility, guys. There's a lot of bearish confluence. Like I said, these macro trends are all sloped down. And man, if there was a time for it to just absolutely nuke, now kind of would be the time. But you can't help but be a little cautious. If you're using leverage, you can't help but be a little cautious underneath a previous weekly low or a yesterday's low. Got some heat up at 72.2 and 73K. So if we just simply come up and retest last week's candle low, that wipes out a lot of people. If we come up to the 5-day trend, that wipes out a lot of people as well. That's basically all the heat map is saying right now. Ooh. I don't like, man, I was really hoping this 10-minute Heikin-Ashi trend would hold, guys. I think one more 10-minute candle and I might have to close the trade. So far, the trend is still white. There's like a small chance it comes back, but yeah. That is a shame because I went ham for you guys tonight, man. I wanted to ham it up for this breakout deal, man. We're doing this 25K raffle tonight, so alrighty. We were oversized, like super oversized, guys. So I just fixed my size here. We locked in a good amount of profit on that. I don't even know if I want to do a stop because I feel like the stop, you know, this down here is still potentially a juicy area for like more longs, you know? So having a stop down here just sucks, man. You're better off just taking, instead of having a stop that's super tight or a stop loss at your entry, like it is better to just take the profits when you see it. And I learned that from, well, I learned that from my brother CryptoFace, but lately I've been seeing it the most exemplified by Crypto Crank, man. That is a trader. He's a trader where like he sees the money on the table and he takes it, and he's got that roach mode super locked down. For me, sometimes, guys, I still get attached to trades. Like sometimes I still want to hit that home run, and I say it's roach season, and then next thing you know, I'm a piggy. So I am a roach pig, trying to transition to full roach. But alas, I am a roach pig. So, you know, let me know in the chat. Are you guys a roach? Are you guys a pig getting slaughtered? Or are you a roach pig? Are you somewhere in the middle? Because, man, it feels like if you believe in anything these days, you get punished, man. You get punished. If you want to be one of these buyers stepping in, defending this daily low, look what's happening to you, man. Look what's happening. You want to fight some other man's battles? Now look at you. Ricky Spanish says, in and out, Maine. In and out. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, we've been neutered. You know, 25K on a 100K count is still big size. I'm still in quite a large trade here, guys. I was just in a insanely stupid retardo trade. I was in with the entire account. So, you know, we got out of that. So now it's a more of a normal situation that we're in here. And I preach against full porting. In most cases, guys, it's not statistically worth it to full port. There's this thing called Kelly criteria, and it's like this bell curve. And you're actually better off risking about, you know, 35 to 65% of your stack if you're gonna like gamble and go ham with the account. Using 100% of the account is actually not statistically ideal. Yeah, man. You know what spooked me is we lost this little 10-minute Heikinashi trend here. So I just don't want to be around if this becomes more of an issue. You know? I could always hop back in later. I just don't want to eat. I don't want to eat whatever the Bears got cooking here. If the Bears are coming back on the 10-minute, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Which is a shame because there is, you know, there are some cool upside targets now that we're in this new month. I do think it is possible that a chain of events could happen that get us back to last month's VWAP up here. All the way up here at around like 78K. But for the time being, guys, still a lot of weakness down here. We haven't sufficiently reclaimed yesterday's low in a way where I could confidently tell you a little bottom is in here. This is still knife catch territory, I would say. You know, this could be more than just a little hunt underneath previous weekly low. I would like to see this previous weekly low retested, but you know, there's a chance that it's so bearish that does not happen, you know? You got to think twice about your longs when you're in this sort of environment, guys. And you got to be able to let go, man. You got to be able to let go of the trade. It actually helped me a lot coming out and doing this live during this trade because you guys, knowing you guys are watching, helps me close the freaking trade, you know? It's when you're alone in your underwear with no supervision. No one to love you but your own trades, man. You get attached to the trades. Cypher Ratter says, I breached a lot of accounts using full margin, but I passed 80% of the accounts when I used a reasonable margin, like 20 to 40. 20 to 40 is still aggressive. That's what some people don't understand is that's almost full Kelly right there. You know, that's a maximal, you're using a maximalist betting strategy by entering with 40% of your size. It's a good size. You know, if your win rate is solid, then you can crank up that size. If your win rate's a little bit lower, then, or if you want to be like overly realistic about your true win rate, sometimes you could have a little win streak and, you know, who cares? It's just variance. You know, you're just getting lucky, you know, and then your true win rate is revealed. It's like, oh shit, my win rate is only, 30%. It's not 80% like it was last week, you know? Now look at this, guys. This is some bait here, potentially some bait. Like you panic sell when this turns bearish. Now we're seeing green candles, but I'm going to stick to my guns and not re-enter or do anything overly emotional. I'm already in a good size trade. I'm in a 25,000. I'm in 25K size. We're already off to a good start, so we'll try to keep it that way. But yeah, man, I like that this 10-minute could come back to life here. We'll see what's going on here. It does seem as though there's some front running of this yesterday's low. This is the level where I told you guys, like, we need to sufficiently get over this in a way that's convincing to call a little local, just a little tiny local bottom, you know, in a larger downtrend. Black Levin said, I have a crazy win streak followed by some losers. Really annoying. That's so dangerous, man, because you have a win streak, you crank up your size, now you're trading full Kelly. Next thing you know, you hit a patch where your win rate is completely trash and you have no idea what you're doing. And then that's when that Kelly criteria gets you, man. So my advice is to not push it. You know, if you're pushing it and you're going super, super hard and your size is big, you need to quit while you're ahead. Protect the run, man. Protect the run. And the money's not yours until it's withdrawn from, you know, it's not yours until the trade is closed. The coins are off the exchange, off your wallet, and in your bank account. You know, most people don't even, the money doesn't get that far for most people, man. The money is not yours until it's in your bank account. Make sure you guys follow at Flopping Groper on Twitter. I've been losing followers for being bearish, guys. I was bearish last week. Left you guys with, I left you guys with what I thought about the markets. Took a little break at the end of the month. And sadly, my bearish predictions did come true. Which is sad. But it is a new month. And a new week, and it's like a blue moon. It's like, you know that phrase, once in a blue moon? Well, now's your chance. Now is your chance to get a breakout eval at this reduced price here. Look at these one-step turbos, 100K for $330. That's like a smoking deal, man. That's what I'm on right now. So I think this is a better price range for, you know, if you want to just buy evals and kind of go ham on them and just go like blast full Kelly and just see how you do and screw it. You know, these maybe these turbo accounts are for you, man, because 330 bucks for 100K is pretty solid. I would say, you know, if you do have one of these turbo accounts, that's another reason why I locked in this win here, because I need a buffer, man. I need more than like 3% total drawdown to get this account off the ground, man. So locking in that first win is so important, man. Let's see. Do we see any market cipher basic strategy? If you're watching this stream later, shout out to you. I try to keep these streams like highly engaging so that there's value for the folks who tune in later. Yeah, man, just let the analysis speak for itself, man. You know, in my last couple streams, we were bearish, guys. This is bearish. That was my last video 4 days ago. The stream before that, we were talking about that Warsh VWAP, guys. That thing was dirty. And then, you know, downtrend signs return. I called out 9 days ago when Bitcoin lost the 5, 20, and 200-day SMAs. And then I was roaching over here. Now look at this bait on the 10-minute, guys. A candle of buyers coming in, but it hasn't been enough just yet to flip the 10-minute trend bullish here. So I have a feeling that I'm going to be very happy that I got out of this trade quick. I mean, this is just a brutal macro trend that we're in, guys. Man, someone on the channel brought up Hype and Purr. Purr is Hype's publicly traded stock, guys. No one on crypto Twitter was talking about this stock. But look at their earnings report that they had in May. Look at this May earnings report, guys. A 250% surprise. So are you surprised that Purr has been doing this move? If I should have logged into my E-Trade because I'm in a position that's up like $2,500 on this Purr. This Purr chart. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I just fixed the screen for you guys. Hype has a publicly traded stock, guys. Keep an eye on Purr. This thing has been absolutely purring. Its earnings report on May 4th here had that 250% increase there. So let's see. Yeah, let me show, because you guys were looking at the other screen, but we're back in action here. I was doing some TA on Bitcoin, I think. So let me go back over that again. We were talking about some 10-minute price action here. We're just seeing what's going on in this area here. We're seeing, like, are the buyers gonna hold this PWL? I mean, I don't think they can. I mean, a new 10-minute downtrend may be forming here. We'll have to see. But like I said, I think I'm, no matter what happens, I'm cool with the fact that I closed the trade early. CoreWeave is moving, guys. CoreWeave's in a big, like, a couple different uptrends. A 20-day uptrend. The weekly Heikenashi's going crazy here. CoreWeave is back, man. Circle, on the other hand, has like kind of a big bear div going on here. Damn, look at Nvidia just AMD. Man, look at this bounce off the 200 SMA on CrowdStrike. That was a beautiful move right there. Looking at Costco real quick. Costco, we had this ascending triangle breakout, and then it crashed, and it's fallen all the way through here. I'm not bearish on Costco though, guys. It's in a steep 200-day uptrend. A pullback on Costco is a good thing. But yeah, I can't remember if I showed you guys the per chart out, but this is the Hype publicly traded stock, and it's in a massive uptrend. Its earnings reports just went insane. I guess Hype is like basically tokenizing stocks, and they're doing really good with it. As long as there's anything to trade, Hype will do well. Like Hype basically doesn't really need crypto to do well, and that's why it's doing well. It is a little bit, it's cool that we're seeing the tokenization of stocks and like stocks being traded on these traditionally crypto platforms, but also it's like once you do that, what's the point of trading crypto? I think Zcash could keep going, guys. I think, looking at the weekly, it stalled out a little bit at, I believe it was the 786 retracement. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, there's been a little bit of turmoil at this 786 retracement, but the trend suggests like more bullishness. Like it's still in a rising 200-day trend. When I look at the daily, look at it seemingly bouncing here off of a previous quarterly high. What is that previous quarterly? Is that this right here? Okay, got you. So this was the old yearly high, which was at the start of the year, guys. So we pump up over that, get a bounce. It seems like for now, we're seeing strength over that yearly high on Zcash here. So this is a critical support, I would say. I would say that 540 on Zcash, you got to stay over like 540 for it to keep looking good. Miss Baker asked, she said something in the chat. She said, NVIDIA created the AI and CPU system on a chip, although you have to use Microsoft Windows to take advantage of it. Not good. Yeah, I'm not an expert on what AMD and NVIDIA are doing, but I have had some nice calls on AMD like in the past. So I like trading it. Really strong chart. Same with NVIDIA. Yeah, man, I feel bad for some of our large cap coins. XRP is Not good. I mean, Ethereum, it's just so unattractive to even, I don't even want to like look at Sol, ETH, XRP. Take that as a sentiment read, if you will. You know, you can counter that sentiment. You could, you know, think whatever you want from it, but the desire for some of these coins, I feel like the sentiment has tanked. I wonder what the market cap of, if we go to like coin market cap, I wonder how close hype is to like flipping. Oh my gosh, guys. All right, check this out, guys. So hype has soared up to number 9. There's a big gap, though, between everything above hype and everything below. Like Tron here has a market cap of like 32 billion. So hype would have to 2x to pass Tron. Almost 3x to pass Solana. But I don't think that's out of the question. I think we may see that by the time this bear market is over. We might see hype soar up the chart here. Hype is bigger than Cardano now. Zcash is bigger than Cardano. Let's check our Bitcoin price action here. Look at that, guys. Look at it coming back. Holy shit, it's coming back. Still in a pretty oversized 25k trade here, so we're still cosmically justified. But check this out, guys. The 10-minute Heikin-Ashi trend, it crapped out for a second. Now it's back online. So this is an interesting reconfirmation by the bulls. Let's see what they can do with this. Floating above, not getting that clean retap of previous daily low back here. So this maybe this is some bullish strength in the short term. You know, once you get up to this VWAP here, you may run into some issues if this does kind of gap up here. Gronk has a cool observation. He said hype will probably dump like Chainlink during the bull run. Yeah, man, it could be on its own path, man. It could be on its own path, doing its own thing. Isaac says, have I played around with Central Command? Not really, man. Not really. Mostly just been doing prop firm stuff. Also, I had a hard time botting on Central Command, so I mean, I didn't really put that much effort into it. I gotta check it out more. But I have an entry method that like is pretty mechanical, like that I try to be good about, where I don't really need a robot to help me get into a trade. A little bit of bull div here on the 1 hour. Price did come down lower, but the market cipher wave is trending up. Oh, thanks for following my Twitter, guys. I appreciate you. Just catching the knife here on Bitcoin. Bitcoin coming down if we switch to the weekly chart. Just to do another little overview of like what's going on. Last week's low, we've breached far below that. So we're seeing a vicious hunt below last week's low going on. And also on top of that, a hunt underneath yesterday's low as well. So once yesterday's candle closed and today began, we take those traders out, and then now we are reclaimed back in this daily candle range for now. So it's really up to the bulls to stay over yesterday's low and see if they can dig around in this daily range here. Now we looked at the heat map. I told you guys there is a small possibility that the bulls could be plotting something here all the way up to around 73K, which is right at that declining 5-day SMA. So, you know, we're in this triple macro downtrend, declining 20, declining 200, declining 5. If there are any upward undulations, you know, they would go up there around to that 5-day SMA and then potentially crap out again. You know, even in a bearish trend, everyone is made to look like a fool, myself included. Synapse Short says, what's your strategy? How discretionary? Well, typically to take a trade, like the way I was able to full port at this point here in the chart for like a little scalp there was, I want to see an entire day of traders get wiped out. So when today began, you know, I was looking at this level, PDL. Once we swept down into it, and I was seeing some strength around here, you know, this is where I got in. So I had to execute when I saw this high time frame event, the daily candle getting pierced. When you actually go to the daily chart, you'll actually see the wick go past yesterday's wick. And if it starts looking like there's a buyback happening and buyers coming in, you can hop in there for a knife catch. And, you know, in a low win rate, it's the big one. You know, you're catching the big reversal, but that's a low win rate. If you get out quick, it's a pretty high win rate scalping opportunity. So, what I like to see, though, like for entry, firing off trade criteria, usually, some good things to see is a strong Heiken Ashi momentum candle on the 10-minute. I do really like this candle here. I got in earlier because I suspected that this was happening while it was happening. But the closure of that 10-minute Heiken Ashi does trigger a kind of basic bitch long setup here. You know, just something like that, you know. Like you see the buyers coming in a substantial way here. And it worked back here too. Look, if you wait for that 10-minute strength, it's a Heiken Ashi candle with no bottom wick, which I call a momentum candle. And you could just target 1-to-1 for like little scalps with that. Or you could hold more. It's up to you, but I like to see the 10-minute candle strength. I like to see market cipher basic strategy. I do see some mama turtle, baby turtle happening here. I see this money flow coming up. I see the RSIs picking up. The RSIs have crossed bullishly over the 20 level here, and now they're kind of aiming to the upside there. So That is how I was able to get that oversized trade in the right direction. I waited patiently for a very advantageous place to do so. Brittany Baker says, do you like any trading bot? I'm looking for one that will make use of a particular indicator. Nah, I'm just not the person to ask about trading bots. Evil Strain says, I catch knives with my tongue. We are not the same. What do you work in a circus, man? What are you crazy, man? That's cool though. 64% of you guys saying that you're short. Interesting. Interesting that a majority of traders are short underneath yesterday's low, underneath last week's low. How many traders were bearish up here when we were testing the Kevin Warsh VWAP? How many traders were bearish up here when the new Fed chairman got announced? On the channel, guys, we did call out, critical resistance. Time is running out. Macro trend, downtrend signs. We were fighting a little bit of uptrend, but then quickly the sell in May, we lost that May VWAP and things got hairy again. I'm a little doggy crying in my thumbnail. It's all over, guys. It's all over. Last 3 streams were bearish too. I don't call it all the time, man. There were some things that, let me tell you something that I got very wrong. Let me tell you something that I messed up majorly on was Palantir. This chart is absolutely ripping. I do remember saying on like a couple of streams ago that it was in a downtrend and that I wasn't that hopeful on it because we had, a 20-day downtrend, a 5-day downtrend. It just didn't look that good down here. And then next thing you know, oh, never mind. It's just pumping. And I never told anyone to short Palantir, but, sometimes the things I say on this channel don't happen, guys. So I'm not trying to tell you guys that I'm a wizard, but I do my best, man. I tell you guys the signs I'm seeing. And that is a full hour, guys. That was a full hour. So real quick recap, breakout prop, they lowered the cost of their evals, guys. So you can get a 100K turbo account for $330. That's freaking nuts, man. So go ahead and take advantage of this. If you use code FG, you automatically get entered into this 25K account raffle. I'll do another stream later this week once I figure out who wins. If you do buy an eval with code FG, join my Discord, link in the description, open a little ticket and just let me know. That way we can work together. And that's pretty much it, guys. We're going to end it there. And that's it for your boy FG. So God bless you guys. I'll be back later this week.